Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, on Kairos Junction, it's going to be TY versus Stats. And it's going to be from Home Story Cup 19. Top left-hand corner is the blue Terran player. It is TY. And in the bottom right-hand corner, I know it says it is Barcode, but it is Stats, the red Protoss player. Oh man, these two players are at the top of their game now. It's going to be an incredible TVP. And let's get right on into it here. Yeah, Home Story 19 is filled with incredible games. Thank you for releasing the replay pack, in case somebody's watching this who did that. I know the odds aren't too great, but nothing ventured, nothing gained is one of my mottos. Alright, so racks first here, inside the base. Gateway first here, inside the base. No proxy. No proxy here. No sirree bob. TVP basically comes down to Liberators and Tempests and Archons and Immortals and charge lots. A lot of charge lots from P here. They are talking actually about removing all of the damage done by the charge ability from Zealots. So they charge at you, they close in, and then they start hitting you, but there's not that additional 8 damage they used to do. So they charge at you, 8 damage, and then start hacking, which was really good. Really good against things like Bio, against things like Roaches and Zerglings and Hydralisks. And so they're thinking about removing that. We'll see. We'll see if that happens or not. It's not something they've decided on entirely quite yet. So, I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I'm confident it'll make it into the final version of the next patch of StarCraft 2 or not. It's in the test right now. Test map. I call them like test rail? No, that's for more. Test rail is where I keep track of all of my tests I do for my software testing that I do for a job every day. But, yeah. This is going to be the test map where they have those. So people go in there and play it and they give their feedback, and Blizzard pays attention to it and sees what's working and what's not. And so it's going to be based a lot on that thing. Adept first here out of Stats, working on, is he getting a Reaper is the question. No, man, he skipped Reaper. He skipped Reaper. And honestly, I can't blame him. The SCV scout saw everything he needed to know for the early stages of the game. Reaper's going to get in here and do nothing, honestly. Probably just die, which is what Reapers usually do. So skipping it here, I think it was okay for TY. He did Worker Scout. SCV comes in for the second round of scouting here, which is pretty fantastic, honestly. It's going to see any further tech. Nope, no further tech. Sees the double gas, was just standard at this point. Just waiting for a Stargate or something to come up to tell him what's going on, but I don't think the Adept is going to allow that to happen. Although as long as the SCV lives, as the Adept comes over and does delay the building of that command center, that's a huge play from Stats making that happen. And did the SCV die? The SCV died, and then the Twilight Council came up. Another Adept coming in, but there's a Marauder now. Marauder's much better at killing Adepts than Marines are, it turns out. Yeah, get that Marine out of there. Nope, he dead. Super dead. Actually, Marauder does better, but the Hellion is where it's at. The Hellion can micro pretty well. That bonus damage versus light against Adepts is really amazing stuff. Oh, man, the shading... Stats! He saves both of the Adepts alive, and he kills the Hellion, and he delays the natural base while gatewaying up back home. Getting a Twilight Council. What's going to do with this first? We're going to go for Charge. We're going to go for Blink. Ooh, Adept. Resonating Glaives. Okay. This is a Resonating Glaives opening? I don't know if I've seen all that much in PvT, to be honest with you, but this is Stats. You trust him. One of the best Protoss players of the last 10 years, honestly, if not the best. The number of accolades this guy has is insane. Go check him out. Go watch, go check out his Team Liquid page. I'm like, go watch his Team Liquid page. No, it's not something you can watch, but watch him in stuff like GSL. Watch him obviously in these WCS events and Home Story Cup and stuff. You will come to an appreciation of this dude without question. Yeah, man, this is just a lot of Adepts and Resonating Glaives on the opening, which, all right. I mean, there's a Cyclone out, which is going to do pretty well here. It's going to be able to kill a lot of Adepts. Also, a Liberator would be incredible here out of TY, but we'll see if he goes for that or not. He is making Marines, which will not bode well. Not do well here at all. Pylon on the left side for Stats. Probably going to use that for warping in. Have to imagine. Observer in case there are Widow Mines. That would be a problem for his Adept play, as Widow Mines do a lot of damage versus Adepts. As well as, you know, smaller things. Marines, Zerglings, Banelings, stuff like that. And here we go. Here come the Adepts. That Resonating Glaives is 10 seconds in. The timing here for Stats is absolutely insane. But what else do we expect from Stats? It is Stats. How many of you clicked on this video because it's Stats, right? Right? All right. So here we go. Smoothing on in. That's what they're officially doing, is smoothing on in here to this mineral line. Dude, they're finishing that transfer. All right, here we go. Cyclone going to try to kill all these dudes. Focusing down SCVs for the most part are these Adepts. Marines, too. Not even really worrying about the Cyclone. Cyclone is wrecking these Adepts, unfortunately, though. A lot of Marines down, 9 SCVs down. Cyclones, 3 kills and 2 kills each. Yeah, that is serious business. That was the answer to the Adepts. However, 9 SCVs died. 2 Adepts made it out here, but what else is the follow-up right now to the Cyclones? TY, man, he might be on the upper hand here, although he is down 46 to 31 workers, which is bad. Mules are good for the Terran player, so the income is not that far behind from the Protoss. But still, you don't want to lose that many workers this early. Does not feel good. So yeah, Cyclones, Ravens, Marauders, a couple Marines in the mix, getting some tanks, which are really good against Adepts, and a 3rd base on the way from Stats. Warp Prism trying to cruise on over. Full of Adepts. Maybe get inside that mineral line and go to town on some more of these SCVs. TY is staying close to home, though. He doesn't want more Adepts coming in the front door, but little does he know the backside is going to be where the Adepts are now. Man, they shoot so fast. They shoot so fast. And he just gets 2 SCV kills, picks up, gets out. Warp Prism doesn't die despite the lock-on from the Cyclone. And all is well. Colossus follow-up here, which... Correct. I don't feel like Colossus are very good versus Cyclones, man. I guess with Extended Thermal Lance, maybe they can outrange that lock-on, but... Sheesh. Was this pylon even used? Anything even warp in over here? I'm not sure that it did. Maybe it's just scouting to see if a 3rd base is coming in for TY or not. Unfortunately, that scouting information is done. So, Immortal Sentry at this point. A Colossus is going to pop here fairly soon. It is being chrono boost to some level. And just additional gateways coming in now. Charge is getting started. We're back in with the Adepts. Killing a couple more SCVs, just, you know, a little bit here and there, not going for everything all at once. Oh, I don't know about this Cyclone. Cyclone's going to die. There's no saving it there. So the Adepts are going to try to kill as many units as they can. Maybe recall out of there, but nope. I don't think anybody made it home after that. 4 SCVs went down. A total... Hang on, where's my thing? Shift L, there we go. A total of 17 SCVs have died, but 11 Adepts and a Warp Prism went down in the process. However, 3 basing it. From Stats, despite all this aggression that we're seeing, man, can you imagine running into Stats on the ladder? You're like, but that was an Adept all-in, but he has a 3rd base too. What? How is he magical like this? I kind of feel like Interference Matrix is going to lock down this Colossus, and then I think that might just be it for Stats here. This is a pretty intimidating army from TY. He's up 27 total supply in army supply right now. Continuing to push across the map, continuing to try to get a concave here. Oh, Stats army. Stats army. Tank sets up, does not get a shot off. Needs to move up a little bit here with this tank, and he is. That's a good place. I love the Liberators in the mix. I'm not sure the Stalker count is high enough to deal with these Liberators and these tanks coming around the outside. Stats is in trouble. He's trying to buy as much time as possible here, but man, TY is sieging on up. He's got that 22 army supply lead right now. Stats says, forget that. Maybe I'll just go home. No! Go to the other side. Nope, he's not doing that at all. He's getting on top of the tanks to wipe those out. Nice angle, honestly. These aren't even... Oh, they are charge lots. Never mind. Charge lots down. Tanks down. Bio remaining. And Immortal's going to die in the process, which is not great. I don't think that was a fair trade. Colossus went down there too, and suddenly it's 59 to 37 workers. But TY is up 59 to 34 total supply. Where'd that Raven at? There's the Interference Matrix on the Colossus. The charge lots are getting cleaned out a little bit here, but again, that 8 damage on charge is no joke. Colossus Interference Matrix wears off. This is an intense little push here from TY, but I think he's got it. He's going to disable one of these warp gates. Fewer reinforcements going to be able to get warped in here at the front. And these warp gates, too, if they go down, they are in trouble. These medevacs are healing for all they're worth right now. Liberators, that you can't come inside these circles. You're going to die. Vikings in the... this is it. I think this is it for Stats. I'm not feeling like he can get out of this thing. That warp gate gonna go down in exchange for a Marine. Oh, a couple Marines go down. Actually, the warp gate's alive, but now there's tank fire on it. Now it's dead. Yeah, I guess there's another pylon here, so maybe not depowered as long as I want it. Another warp gate down, another Colossus is being chrono boost out. Stats is going for this. I don't know, man. The Liberator's doing some good damage. Interference makes one of the Colossus. The other Colossus goes down to the Viking fire. Now there are only Stalkers remaining, and Stats, despite all the harassment done, TY survived, gets the win. TY wins game 1 of our sneaky 2 for here today. Wow. What a fantastic game from TY there. Loses 17 SCVs during the early harassment from Resonating Glaive Adepts. Really crazy stuff there. But in the end, he's just able to get up the army he needs to handle whatever Stats can make here. He's got tanks, he's got Liberators, and Cyclones, and Marauders, and Marines, and Medevacs, of which I don't think any Medevacs died in that game. He made 2, and they stayed alive the whole time. That is some nice control. And Stats going for the third base, I think, might have been a mistake. He did do some hurt to TY, and I think at that point, I think TY knew there was a third base from Stats, and the only option he had was to push. And I think Stats should have realized that. Maybe held off on the third base a little bit, made a couple more Colossus so they couldn't be interference matrixed like they were, and then maybe handled the attack a little bit better. But, yo, nice job by TY in Game 1 of our sneaky twofer. So we'll see what happens in Game 2 here between these two players. Stats looked amazing right up until TY set up tanks on his front door with Liberators and said, come at me, bro. So, all right, Game 2 coming your way. Don't go anywhere. Okay, Game 2. It's going to be a new Repugnancy, the Ladder Edition. Top right-hand corner this time is going to be the Blue Terran player TY. Okay, so there wasn't anybody in the top right last time, but you know what I mean. Bottom left-hand corner is the Blue Protoss player. It is Stats. All right, man. Stats here versus TY. Hanging out. Stats on a barcode account, because apparently that's what he has set up in the EU, which is where this was actually played. This is a sneaky SCV out of TY, man. Does he have some plans for this SCV? I kind of feel like he does. Where are you going, man? Unless he's just looking. No, man. He didn't know. Nope. That is too early. That is going to be a barracks right over here. Thank you for asking. Bam. Barracks coming up. Proxy. Stats. Is he going to probe scout this? He probably will, because he probe scouts a lot, and Protoss are good at that sort of thing. But TY, just, you know, doing regular stuff, getting some gas. Probably going to make a Reaper out of this, unless it's just like a really standard, a standard 1-1-1 proxy. Who did that the first time I saw it? I want to say it was maybe Polt way back in the day, 2-3 years ago, where he would just set up and just go barracks, factory, starport, and just murder people. Ah, Stats. He smelled it. He's like, I smell some cheese over here. It is stinky. It is the stinkiest of cheese. Can the finish? He's trying to finish. He can't. He's bringing another SCV over here to try to make it happen. But man, that's rough stuff, bro. That is rough stuff, buddy. If your proxy gets sniffed out like this, I mean, it's one thing to have your proxy attack get shut down. It's another thing to have it never even get off the ground. Boy, that's a concern. Another SCV coming across the map. TY's really trying to make this thing happen. But, I mean, instead of just canceling it and throwing up back home, he's just like, no, I've invested too much. He's going to finish the barracks, though, which is nice. And a Reaper is on the way. So the Reaper's name, as we follow this poor SCV, who's probably going to die, is Guybrush Threepwood. In his mind, he was a dashing pirate, beat LeChuck, the Ghost Pirate, Governor Elaine Marley, and discovered the secret of Monkey Island. However, he was actually just a guy that got his way into a pirate theme park ride. Still, Guybrush claimed he was a pirate, and that was enough to be sent to the Reaper program. Monkey Island, good stuff from LucasArts back in the day. I played it a little bit. It was never a game that I owned, but one of my friends had it. Zap him. Got him. Reaper coming on in. There are a couple games like that I used to play at my friend's house because he had a bunch of LucasArts stuff, including Space Quest, which Reaper comes in. Guybrush gets a single probe kill, maybe even two. My gosh, two? And a third? And a third, and then the Stalker comes in, and Guybrush is trying to flee for his life. Can he get out of here? There's an Oracle on the way, too. Oh, blocks him in. That was gross. Stats. Blocks the Reaper in with the pylon. What a play. What a disgusting play. Ended up trying to knock down the wall. But yeah, Space Quest, I remember especially there's this one part where you're trying to sneak past this guard into a building as Roger Wilco, intrepid janitor turned space adventurer. And let's see, you have a rock, and we were trying to like throw it at the rock and knock him out or distract him or something, but we couldn't do it. We tried to throw the rock, but we were too weak because we're just a janitor, you know. But then it turns out that you have a jock strap in your inventory, as this adept is not getting in here. Although Oracle shows up. Okay, that's interesting. Guybrush is dead, and oh, everything else is just dead too. That's oh, there's a Cyclone on the way. I was gonna say, TY knew this Oracle was coming. There is no way he was not preparing for it, and he was, in making a Cyclone. So great job. Maybe even might save the supply depot. But yeah, the answer was we had to type in Sling the Rock, because this was a combination text graphical adventure game, which I don't know if you kids know what that stuff is these days, but some of you do. Some of you are around my age and older. Yeah, which just meant if you type throw the rock at the guard, it doesn't work, but if you type sling the rock at the guard, you turn the jockstrap into a sling and you sling it at him and good stuff happens. Anyway, another Oracle comes in. Cyclone getting baited by this one. Oh, there's 2 Cyclones, though. We can handle double Oracle with 2 Cyclones. 1 Cyclone may be a little bit difficult here. So where are we in this game? We're in this game where Stats is on 2 bases. And TY is almost on 2 bases. Man, this is good stuff. This is good StarCraft. I know it was a short game in game 1, but shoot. Short games are really fun, too. I should do a cheese compilation from Home Story. There's a bunch of short, crazy games out there. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will do that for one of my Sunday series coming up. Yeah, maybe I will. Watch out for that. All right, man. Warping in at the front here. Slow warping. There's a tank set up. Ooh, the Adepts go in. Cancel. They get the scout off. So they see the barracks. As well as the 2 Cyclones here and the tank. I don't know about an Adept Stalker army. Well, I guess this tank is dead, but I'm not sure about getting up the ramp necessarily. All right, yep. Oracle comes in to help with that. The tank is down, and now suddenly can the Cyclone hold it pretty much by himself with just a couple Marines for support. And a couple SCVs getting pulled off of the line here, too. Oracle comes in and says, I will burn the tank to the ground. No, Marines end up saving it there, though. Taking the high ground, doing some good damage against these Stalkers. The Cyclone is the perfect answer here, too. Man, Cyclone, good unit. That's really good stuff. The Stalkers back themselves into a corner where they're going to die after killing a couple Marines, I suppose. Additional Stalkers come in, but it's almost a little bit too late here. Where is the Cyclone? Where are you on your cooldown? And there it is. There's your cooldown. That Stalker's oh no, he broke the lock on. The Stalker broke the lock on there. That was really good stuff. 7 SCVs died during that engagement. Repairing the 4-kill Cyclone is TY. It is 42 to 23 worker stats. He might just be at a point where he's going to win this thing. I don't know. There are tanks on the high ground, though. Just economically, this is looking really good for stats. You can't kill TY yet. Man, TY, just the micro keeping this Cyclone alive is incredible stuff. What? Stats going for a 3rd base again? Did we not learn our lesson from the last game? TY is way behind economically. It's 46 to 23 workers. Even with mules, he's substantially behind on total income right there per minute. Some Marine tanks gonna push. All right, man. Stats, are you prepared for a big Marine tank push off of 2 bases? If you didn't have this 3rd base, you would have a big, scarier army than this for sure. You'd have warped in some Zealots. You might even have Blink by now. An Immortal's on the way, which is going to be probably worth its weight in gold here. Man, this Cyclone is just mean. It's got 6 kills. Oh, a Stasis Ward would be massive. Lock on. Oh! What? TY, your vision! Your vision is insanely good! Stasis trapped again. TY, I think... Oh, how's he doing this? 52 to 17 army supply. Stats goes for the early kill. And again, it doesn't work. Where is his Immortal? He's got a shield battery. That 3rd base might just very well be dead here. Oracle trying to sneak around the outside and snipe down these tanks. I mean, a lot of this bio is very low on HP, as it turns out here. Immortal down, tank down. Oh, but so many more tanks coming across. The macro for TY is insane. And I think TY has got this TO 2-0 in the bag, ladies and gentlemen. 44 to 12 army supplied. This carbon copy, man. TY gets the win in game 2 of our sneaky 3-fer. It is a 3-fer today between these 2 players. TY giving us some kind of blueprint on how to handle early Protoss aggression where you lose a ton of stuff and then win anyway. I mean, 14 SCVs are dead. Some of them died coming to the front, but a bunch of them died back here at the natural and in the main to Oracle harassing stuff. And again, stats, I think the problem here is going for that 3rd base. Like, you damage TY almost beyond repair, and all he can do is just bring everything he has across the map and try to kill you. I don't know where Stats' confidence comes from and where he's like, I can hold that and get a 3rd base. No, man, you're on 2 base. You're on a way better economy. Still on a better economy, even after all of those probes that died during that defense. Man, that is crazy. I kind of feel like Stats had a great chance to win both of these games. I just... I don't know, man. Heaven be it for me to criticize Stats, only maybe the greatest StarCraft 2 Protoss player of all time, but man, I don't know what that was. Why he would take a 3rd after doing all of that damage. I know when you're ahead, get more ahead, but don't get so far ahead. You have 50 workers and like 10 army. That's not going to work out for you, man. Shoot, even the bunkers got down to the front for TY. Great job. All right, so game 3. We'll see how game 3 goes. Can TY 3-0 stats here in a matchup where people consider Terran to be underpowered? Stick with it. We'll find out together. All right, stats. You're down 2-0. Let's see what you can do. Bottom right-hand corner, it is stats. Top left-hand corner, it is TY, who goes by TY in tournaments for some reason. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but it's just TY otherwise. Let's see if there's going to be a proxy here. Nah, he would have already sent out the SCV. This is a pretty darn big map. So by the time your guy gets down and starts building a barracks, there's already a stalker on the way, basically. Walling off? Yeah, walling off here on the low ground. There's a spot right here where a Reaper can get up. We'll see if stats accounts for that. We'll see if TY even opens up Reaper. Barracks inside the main base. Gas in the perfect position to have enough gas for a Reaper. And there's your second gas. Oh, hang on. No. It's a little bit earlier. That is not going to be a Nexus, actually. Out of stats. At least not right this very second. Probe is checking for proxies, as he did in the last game, and successfully found it, by the way. And did so much damage to TY, and then just got greedy with it and died. I mean, as somebody... Right? As somebody who is a Zerg player, I totally understand what it's like to be too greedy and die as the Cybercore comes up. And there is no expansion. This is not a one gate expand at all. Reaper on the way. Reaper's name is T-Series. Emperor Mengsk made a space YouTube channel named Mengstipie, where he plays nothing but his favorite game, Cake Wars 2 Ultimate, all day. Subscribing was mandatory for all. However, T-Series somehow managed to get more subscribers anyway. For beating Mengsk, T-Series was sent to the Reaper program. Hashtag sub to Mengsk. That's a good one, Joseph. Well done. Proxy pylon up north here from stats. I mean, it's a little bit out of date. When you did it, it was totally on brand and totally with the meta. But unfortunately, by the time I got around to it, just because of the backlog of Reaper names, not quite in context anymore. But I got it. I'm sure other people will too. T-Series is probably still up, right? It's just there are so many people in India, you guys. PewDiePie, very popular, but India has like 1 billion people in it by itself. So hard to beat that. Hard to beat India or China in anything, really. Expansion almost done from TY. Expansion kind of just getting started here. Out of our Protoss player. Adept moving on. This Reaper is a little bit suspicious of things. And it's going to take at least one shot from this Adept. Maybe, oh gosh, 2. The stutter step. Ooh, careful. You can't get in range of that thing. Delay. No. Command center does actually get down on time, which is massive for TY in this situation. Nice load and unload there on that SCV to try to get it out of here anyway. But what is this? Robotics facility, Dark Shrine, and a gateway over here. Is he going for Warp Prism DTs? Kind of like it, honestly, out of stats. That's why that expansion was late. It's because he was going for all that tech up north. Adept does finish her transfer to make it on home. She's got a kill, which is nice. And the expansion done for TY here. The question is, will he have the tech to deal with DTs? He does have an orbital command, but if he's a good Terran player, he will be using all of his energy on mules instead of scans. That is the question, isn't it? That's always the question. Man, Warp Gate finishing up just as this Dark Shrine is coming in. That's some pretty good timing out of stats. Whatever this build is, it's kind of amazing. Ooh, Starport down here for TY, though. He's got a medevac in there. This is going to be interesting. This, oh, stats. Oh, stats. Is he going to have anything at home against these 3 Hellions that are getting into his mineral line? No. The answer to your question is no. But on the other side, DT's getting get some stuff done over here. Just the problem is you can lift off if you're TY and you have 2 bases. You can't do anything against these Hellions. All your probes are going to die. Can he maybe warp in some stuff here? And, oh, the scan. There's the scan. Tries to pick up. The other DT can't do it. One does make it out of there, but DT, oh, Adept actually getting some work done here in the natural base too, but these Hellions putting in minutes and hours down here. 8 kills, 4 kills, 4 kills, 6 kills. No stats. He just played aggressive build bingo and lost. This DT is trying to save the day, but 23 probes have died. It is currently 21-12 workers. TY ahead big time. Sure, the Adept has killed 4 SCVs over her. Sure. DT back in here trying to get rid of that Cyclone, but Cyclone faster than DT, so it can run away, which is nice. Oh, 33 probes down. I don't even... It's brutal is what it is. Lock on. Almost taking that sucker down. There's your scan. DT gets picked up and saved. Stats trying to hold this thing if he can. But 8 kill Hellion and 15 kill Hellion will not be denied. They will kill every one of these probes if they can. Another one goes down for 35. Still, Hellion remains. And gets wiped out there too. But it's 4. It's 4 probes right now from Stats. And sure, some damage has been done on the other side of the map. But it is still 26 SCVs. And Stats taps out. TY 3-0 Stats. If you'd come into this knowing this was effectively a best of 3 between these two players, although I think it was technically a best of 5, which, boy, howdy, what a best of 5. Between Stats and TY, and I put odds on stuff, and I said, all right, so you can also choose this particular outcome, TY 3-0 Stats. Would you have chosen that, right? Would you have put any money on that? No, I would not have. Absolutely not. Stats is scary. TY is good, but man, to 3-0 Stats, I don't think so, but that's what we got. This is why StarCraft is great. This is why all sports are great, is because no outcome is predetermined. This is what makes This makes stats and sports of all kinds incredible. This is Buster Douglas versus Mike Tyson. This is, who are we thinking? Appalachian State taking down Michigan in college football a few years ago. I mean, it's not that level. This is not like somebody much lower than Stats. TY is up there among the upper echelon and elite of StarCraft 2. But a 3-0 Stats is a fairly surprising outcome, and that's what we got. That's what we got here today on our sneaky 3-fer. I did not watch these in advance, so I didn't know quite what the outcome would be, but I had some suspicions. But man, TY killing it. Killing it here today. Again, short game, but we'll take out their units lost anyway here. Just 36 probes. Man, 36 probes down in exchange for a handful of stuff on the other side, but not enough. Just not enough. And again, this was just aggressive build order roulette. Spun the wheel. Stats went for something that did some good damage, but TY spun a better wheel that did more damage, and he won. That is the risk of doing this stuff, and that's why a lot of the great players go for the more macro-style games more often than not. So, good game. Good game there from TY, and good games overall. Woo! All right. Well, you know what? That's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.